Or anybody woken up one morning and you can't turn your head, everything's locked down, you look like Frankenstein. What I want to go over today is why that's happening and what to do when it happens. Unfortunately, this happens to me every couple months. I got a lot of degeneration in my neck because I like to bash my head into other humans playing football over the years. When I do too much, I have bad posture, I see too many patients. I've had those days where I wake up and I can't turn my head. A lot of people go, oh crap, what's going on? They start to panic and they end up doing a lot of things that make it worse over the long run. So what I want to do today is explain what's actually happening in there and what to do when it's happening and what to avoid. So we've all said this, we just wake up and we're like, oh, I must have just slept on my neck wrong. I slept wrong. Sleep gets blamed all the time. What's really happening is that tightness and that lockup is actually an accumulation of a lot of things going on. And what it does is actually causes a lot of irritation to what's called the disc in your neck. So we're not gonna try to get too scientific-y and fancy here, but we're gonna go into a little bit of detail. So what these are called, they actually have a scientific name to them. They're called an internal disc derangement. We're going to call it IDD for short today, to keep it simple. So we have our spine here, and what I wanted to actually show was the disc. We're using the lumbar ones because they're bigger and you can see, but the same thing works true for the whole entire spine. So in between your bones is this thing called a disc. It's like a jelly-like substance, and it's really good at handling shock absorption. It can handle force going straight down through the spine. But over time, with bad postures, with life, with stress, and everything else like that, the muscles around our disc get really beat up and they put more pressure on the disc. So what ends up happening, we talked about, you have the bones in your neck and in between is the disc. And we said the disc is a really good shock absorber, can handle force like this all day long. Over time, the muscles in there get really beat up with bad posture, stress, life. And it develops this glue that's called adhesion. The adhesion makes the muscles weaker and less flexible. The problem people run into is the job of the muscles is to support the disc in the bones, and they can't. So it actually puts more pressure down there. Now your disc actually starts to slide and grind on itself, which it isn't designed to do. So if we cut your disc in half, it looks like this. It's got a toothpaste in the middle, and it's surrounded by these ligaments. And what happens over time is it slides and grinds. Eventually, one day, you get some micro tearing in here, and this toothpaste comes out. That's the internal disc derangement, and that's when you lock up and you can't move. You turn your head and it feels like a sharp shooting pain. A lot of times what happens is you get some referral pain down into this area. These are really, really common. They tend to last for about 2 to 10 days. And here's the crazy part about them, they usually resolve on their own. So what to do when this happens? I know when you wake up and you can't turn your head, you freak out. You do need to turn your head. You need to be able to turn your head to drive, to function, to move. And nobody wants to walk around like this all day long like Frankenstein because they look weird and people are asking what's wrong with your neck. The key that happens in here, the only thing that's really going to help this in the short term is time. Being patient with it and letting it settle. When people get like this, they panic. They end up going to the chiropractor and think they need to get an adjustment. They book a massage and get in there and really work the deep muscles. They try to stretch it and move it around. The problem is this is so irritated, you just need to let it kind of chill out. When your body locks down in there, it's actually doing what's called protective tension and trying to take the pressure off of there. It's the same thing when you sprain your ankle, your body knows to limp to take the pressure off of there. So if you start moving it around, stretching it, getting adjusted, it actually can cause this to speed up and be more progressive and actually cause this to last a lot longer. So when these situations happen, just kind of chill out, get yourself to lay down, use some ice, get yourself in a good position and just wait. It's gonna suck for the first 48 hours. There's no magic fix to that. A lot of times when you do those other treatments, they might give you this 20 or 30 minute window of feeling better, but it's actually gonna make it worse. So if you're one of those people that have suffered with this or you know someone that suffered, give us a like, a comment, or share. Ask us any questions that you have or any other topics you'd like us to cover. We're here to help.